Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the Crucible V2 and Crucible Pro mousepads by Padsmith, the two newest options for their balanced lineup. They differ in price, design, base, in order to suit a wider range of gamers. Let's now look at the differences more in detail. Before we start, I would like to thank the guys over at Padsmith for providing me with these pads. It's been a real pleasure to use these and they've definitely earned a spot in my rotation, but regardless, all the opinions shared in this video are going to be exclusively my own. Okay, let's start with the unboxing experience as usual. The pads came in two identical boxes, each with the pads design portrait in the front. They were well packaged, well protected. The Pro version was sitting flat right out of the box, while the V2 took a bit longer to be completely flat, especially in the corners. Inside of the box, we could also find a thank you card and some stickers. Now, both pads feature an updated version of the original Crucible surface, which now has a flatter weave and a more consistent feel. There is still a touch of texture, but it's much less pronounced, and overall smoothness has been massively improved. The surface itself is advertised as balanced, which I think is right. The surface itself leans toward the balanced speed end, meaning it's quick, responsive, but it's not going to be slippery. You still get enough feedback for good stopping power and good control, especially when pushing into the pad. Now let's talk about the main differences. The Pro version I have here uses Padsmith's new Alpha Cell Gen 2 base, and it's a clear step up. It's very firm, it holds its shape very well, but you can still push into it slightly to add some control while still delivering a very firm tensioned feel, kind of like an artisan mid base roughly. Stitching sits at the same level at the surface and feels clean all around. It doesn't bother you while gaming. Overall, I think it's very tight, consistent, and very refined. Now the V2 instead comes with Padsmith's new CR base, which is softer and it has a more rubbery texture compared to traditional foam bases. It feels like you can feel the softness, and while the surface is technically the exact same as the Pro, I think due to the base being softer, we end up having a little more controlled performance. Stitching here sits slightly below surface level, and just as in the Pro version, it doesn't interfere during gameplay. Now in real use, the Crucible Pro offers a bit more glide, while the V2 delivers a bit more control. Both pads are really solid and very balanced. They don't feel muddy or overly slow. If you're coming from other popular choices like a Saturn Pro, these are gonna be a little faster, definitely. But compared to true, like real speed pads, like the Infinity Mice Speed V2 or the Crucible Ninja, these are gonna offer way more control and texture, which are gonna make them easier to manage during your gameplay. Compared to other popular balanced pads like the Crucible Samurai, for example, they feel faster for sure, because the Samurai was more leaning towards control, while these are more leaning towards speed. Both versions of the Crucible are genuinely great. If you're after a high quality balanced mousepad, then these two pads are very much worth considering. The surface itself is very impressive. It's very smooth, clean, balanced. Both options perform very well across different skates, different mouse types, different games. If you've got any questions about this, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check the video description to find some useful links to save some money, as well as all my other social medias. If this video has helped you, make sure to like and subscribe because it's gonna help me massively improve my content. Thanks for staying until the end, and I'll catch you in the next one.